Hello and welcome. This lesson is going to be about the equation of a circle. So basically, mathematicians have come up with an equation for a circle, which is this one. The way they got to this equation is based on the Pythagorean theorem. So if you remember, Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And basically, let's imagine I have a circle like this with a center at hk. And here's a point on the circle. If I was to extend these like so, this would be x, and this would be h. This would be k, and this would be y. So this distance right here is the difference between y minus k, and this distance right here is the difference between x minus h. So if you notice, I have a right triangle right there, and basically this is y minus k, and this is x minus h. And this is your radius, which is the hypotenuse, the radius square. And then the other two sides would be the sides, so it would be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. And that's how they came up with this formula for the equation of a circle with the center hk. So let's look at some examples. So focusing on this equation, we're asked to write the equation of a circle whose center is at 2, -4, and the radius is 3. So basically they're giving us the center, which is h, and this would be k. So basically we'll do x minus h squared plus, open parentheses, x minus the k, which is -4 squared, and the radius is 3. So basically the final answer would be x minus 2 squared plus 2 negatives becomes a positive, and 3 squared becomes a 9. So this will be the equation of the circle with center at 2, -4, and the radius is 3. So basically, if you notice right here, once you have your center, basically you change the sign when you put it into the equation. So if it's -4, it becomes a positive. This is +2, becomes a negative, and then you take the radius squared. Okay, so the next one, I have the center and the diameter. Please remember, diameter means that the radius would be half of it, which would be 4. So if I follow what I said, basically you take this and you change the sign. So it would be +2 squared. Then you take this one, y plus 6 squared equals 4 squared, which would be 16. So that would be the equation of your line. Very good. Here's an example where they give you a circle on a graph. So basically you need to look at this and say, okay, what's my radius? My radius is 3. And what is my center? My center would be 1. You notice 1 up 3. So my equation would be x, remember you change the sign, -1 squared plus y minus 3. And then the radius is 3, so you raise to the square. 3 squared is 9. So there's your equation right there. If you find that you prefer to take one step, you're welcome to do that. So basically do x minus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared and do the radius square and then finalize it. That's fine. It's up to you. All right. Here we want a circle that has a center 3, -4, and that passes through -1, -4. So here's the deal. We have the center, so it'll be x minus 3 squared plus y, we change the sign to positive, square equals the radius square. The problem is we don't have the radius. So for that, we're going to look at this here. And we're going to plug it in this information. So basically, we have a point on the circle, so we're going to plug it in -1 minus 3 squared plus the y is -4 plus 4 squared equals the radius squared. So this will becomes -4 squared plus 0 squared. -4 squared is positive 16, and then plus 0 equals the radius squared. So this would be 16 radius squared. We take the square root of both sides. The radius is 4. So now that we have the radius, we can finalize it and write the equation of the line. Basically, you copy this, x minus 3 squared plus y plus 4 squared, and then the radius is 4 squared. So 4 squared is 16. There we go. Suppose I have the equation of a circle is x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 2y equals -8. Write the equation of the circle in standard form. Standard form basically is this format. In Algebra 1, we know that x minus a squared is the same as x squared minus 2ax plus a squared. And then, for example, I have x plus a will be the same thing, except instead of adding a negative there, it's going to be a positive. So positive 2ax plus a squared. Let's take an example. So let's say I have x minus 5 squared. And basically, if I use this formula, I would have x squared minus 2a is 5, so 2 times 5 is 10, x plus 5 squared, which is 25. If I have x plus 7, for example, square, that would be x squared. Instead of a minus, I'm going to have a plus because here I have a plus. And then I do 2 times 7 is 14x. And then plus, this is 7 squared, which is 49. Please remember, this is the same as x plus 7 times x plus 7. So we learned that we do x times x is x squared, x times 7 is 7x, and then we do 7 times x is 7x, and then 7 times 7 is 49. So basically we combine like terms. So this would be x squared plus 14x plus 49. So in other words, we get the same answer, okay? It's just that this way we're using the formulas that help us get the answer a little bit faster. All right, so now using this, and going to go back to this problem here, I'm going to do something called completing the square. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy x squared. I'm going to bring the -8 next to the 8x. I'm going to leave some space right there, plus y squared plus 2y. I'm going to leave some space equals -8. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete the square. And the way I'm going to complete the square is the following. I ask myself, what number multiplied by 2 gives me 8? Well, that number is 4. So that means to complete the square, I will have to add 4 squared is 16. Okay, then I'll do the same thing here. One number multiplied by 2 gives me 2, and that answer would be 1. So I take that magic number 1 and I square it. So it would be 1 squared, which is 1. Notice that I added 16. So I'm going to add 16 to this side, and I'm also going to add 1 to this side. So whatever you do on one side, you need to do on the other. Okay? So now, why is this important? Because now I have this, so I completed the square, so I can write this as x. So minus, the magic number is 4 squared. Then this would be y plus, the magic number is 1 squared. And then I combine these numbers here. 16 plus 1 is 17, minus 8 is 9. So there we go. This is the equation of the circle in standard form. Okay. In fact, I know that the center will be, remember, you take this number, you change the sign, so it'll be 4, comma, -1. And the radius is the square root of that, which is 3. So there we go. Let's go to the back side and try another problem similar to this to solidify what we just learned, okay? Here on the back side, we have a problem very similar to the previous one. Please remember the formula, x plus a squared equals x squared plus 2ax plus a squared. And then x minus a squared is x squared minus 2ax plus a squared, okay? So when I look at this, the equation of the circle is this one, and write the equation in standard form. So basically, let's organize the equation. We have x squared. Let's put the 8x next to it. And then I'll leave some space. And then I'll do y squared minus 14y. And I don't want this 72 to be here, so I'm going to subtract 72 to both sides. Okay, so that means this 72 goes away and becomes -40. And that way, I'm going to complete the square here and here. So then we go through that step that says, okay, looking at this middle term, 1 number multiplied by 2 gives me 8. The answer is 4. So my magical number is 4. So I put the 4 here, but I need to square it, so it'd be 16. So I'm going to add 16 to the other side. Then I do the same thing here. This would be 2 times 1 number gives me 14. The answer is 7. So my magical number is 7. So I'm going to add 49 to both sides. So that means over here, this here is x plus, the magic number is 4 squared. Here would be y minus, the magic number is 7. And then I just need to calculate what these numbers are. So they add up to 25. So there we go. That's the equation of my circle. Now, that means the center here will be, remember you change the sign, center is -4, comma, +7. Whatever the sign here, you change it, okay? And the radius is, you take this number 25, you take the square root, which would be 5. So there you go. Very good. All right, last thing we're going to do is to graph a circle on a coordinate plane. So first of all, in order to graph, we need to identify our center and our radius. So when I have this here, this is in standard form. So if I identify my center, I know that I changed the sign, so this would be -2. And the y is 0. And you take the square root of 16 is 4. Okay. So basically, we're going to start at -2. So 1, 2, -2. And then I'm going to do a radius of 4. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So just imagine that we extend the coordinate plane right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be enough to kind of get a general idea what my circle looks like. So right there is my circle graphed. So let's try the next one here. Next one here, I have -2, -1. So this changes to +2, comma 1. The radius is 3. So find your center, which is 2, 1. That's your center. Then using the center, count 3 up, count 3 down, 3 to the right, 3 to the left. Once you have that, you can pretty much approximate what the circle looks like. And there you go, a good representation of our circle. Let's go on to the next Next problem, they do not give you the equation, they only give you 3 points. So basically, with those 3 points, you need to come up with the equation of the circle. And so let's start by plotting the points. So first of all, we have negative 2, 2. So negative 2, 2. Then I have negative 1, 1. And then I have negative 1, negative 1, 3. So because we know these are points on the circle, that means that my circle is going to be something like this. So right there, I can estimate that my center will be at negative 1, 2, and my radius is 1. So remember, to write the equation of a line, you change the sign. So x plus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals the radius squared. So that's the equation of my circle. Let's try another problem. Here I have negative 2, 1. I have negative 4, negative 1. And I have 0, negative 1. So right there, I can estimate that my circle looks like this. So my other point should be around here, and that would be my center. So right there, I sketch my graph. So my center is that, which is negative 2, negative 1. My radius has a unit of 2. So now I can, with that information, write my equation, which would be x plus 2. Remember to change the sign. Plus y plus 1 squared equals the radius squared, which is 4. And there we go. That's the equation of our circle. So basically, this concludes the examples for this lesson. I hope this video was helpful, and now you'll be able to solve problems that has to do with the equation of a circle. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.